Hello everyone, Livy here, back with another video. This time a VR to Peekaboo Rose. This is her Standout Decks of 2022 tag. And I'm gonna apologize in advance if you can hear my washer and dryer. I live in a one-bedroom apartment, so there's not a lot of separation of spaces. But anyways, so for this tag, I'm going to be talking about decks that have really been the standouts for this year for me. So let me start by saying I'm not going to include decks that I have recently acquired. And also just decks that, I haven't had a lot of time to put in that work with to see if they've been, kind of like the workhorse for me. So I'm just saying that. One other deck I'm not including in here, but could probably go here every single year would be the Raven's Prophecy Tarot. I think I've talked about that deck way too many times in more recent videos, so I'm not showing it today. But the other decks have done a lot for me kind of this year, I think. I'm looking over at where I keep my other decks, and there's a lot of good ones there too, but they haven't hit the same notes or given me the same help and advice that I've kind of needed. So yeah, the first one I'm going to show, this chunky one right here, the first one I'm going to show is the Tarot of the Divine. This deck. It's funny because in more recent videos I've talked about how, I haven't really been using this deck. And it's true, I don't gravitate towards it. But at the beginning of this year, I was keeping a type of tarot journal in which I was doing daily readings, and how I decided to do that was whatever decks I had in my collection at that time, I just constantly rotated them. And this one gave a lot of powerful readings, so that's why I'm gonna include it now. I love this deck though. It's not to say that I don't love this deck. You can see it's based off of fairy tales and myths from around the world. It's a beautiful deck. Like this card, for instance, I've gotten this one this year. I think I even got the Sun card this year. As you can see, like La Llorona, right? This is her. A lot of just like powerful one card readings that I was getting from this deck, and it's beautiful. I've talked about it before. It's like one of my favorite color schemes. All the cards kind of go into that. And so for that reason, like this card, for instance, I pulled this a couple times, this particular one from this deck. And for that reason, it kind of just did a lot for me this year, at least in the early part of the year. Not so much now in this time of year, since I have so many more decks actually this next half of the year than I did at the start, because I've had this one for a few years now. But yeah, this deck did a lot, and so I'm thankful for it, and I'm shouting it out now. Next one up though is also kind of in that same space where at the beginning of this year, it was doing a lot for me, and it's not that I don't like it now. I still love it. I just haven't gravitated towards it as much because I've gotten so many new decks even within the past 3 months maybe. So the next deck I'm going to feature, and I've talked about before, of course, because I have a kind of small collection anyways, is Mini Cat Tarot. This is the revised edition. You can find it on Etsy. That's the creator's name, Rachelu. It comes with this little guidebook. It's only like so as you can see, it's only like a keyword kind of guidebook. Only the only the major arcana get like a little bit more to them. But anyways, the cards are an important part. This is a standout deck for me because I was able to do a lot of, again, those one card readings. I was doing a lot more at the beginning of the year. I got a lot of like repeat cards and just like this one. There was like a week or so or two where I was getting this one a bit. It just has a lot of powerful one card readings that ended up being like more impactful later in the day when I kind of reflected on them. This deck is so cute. If you love cats and love cat decks, I think this should be in your collection, to be honest. Like, look at this little magician. He's so good. And now everyone has different definitions of this. I would personally consider this deck also a Rider-Waite-Smith clone, because it follows, like even this, of course, as you can see, it follows the artwork of the RWS original deck pretty closely. So in my opinion, it's just redrawn to be cats. So in my opinion, this is a clone. But it is the best clone. And this is probably actually the closest I have to a Rider-Waite-Smith deck, because I don't actually own the original Rider-Waite-Smith, and I talk about that in my tarot origin story. I'm not gonna talk about it again. I think it was there where I talked about it. But anyways, yeah, this is Mini Cat Tarot. It was a good one. I even was able to bring this to work and, you know, pull a couple cards for some of the kiddos at my work. So yeah, it did a lot and I love it. So that was a good standout. Again, more for the beginning of the year. Now, next I'm going to show, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I only have 5 other decks that I'm showing for the purpose of this tag. The next one I'm going to show is this one. I keep it in this bag. I got this bag off Etsy. I love this style of pouch, by the way, because it just like clips open and then you can pull out your stuff. I have a couple things in here. But the important bits are the teeny tiny tarot. Oh yeah, I have like a washi tape holding this together, because when I first got this deck, I literally could not get it out and I was panicking and I had to cut off this part to get it open. But this is a teeny tiny tarot. And I'm also including, oops, there we go. I'm also including the mini Divi Ghosts, particularly because this didn't come out until more recently. This is just in there. I usually keep one of them. But this one also gave some reading, some important bits. So maybe I'll show that in a little bit. But anyways, these two are the main bits that I had. This deck, how is this a standout for me? Anyone who owns this deck can tell you it is funny, it is quirky, it is a little kooky. It's bridge size. The creator is Holly Audley. Where is it? Yep, right there. Holly Audley. Love her art. And this is just such, this card, by the way, I get this one a lot, actually. And particularly from this deck, it was like this version of the 9 of Cups. This deck was just, I'll come back to this one. This deck was a standout for me because again, a lot of really powerful readings came from this one. I used it a lot also in October to do week ahead spread. So at the beginning of the year, I was doing daily card pulls. Sorry, I had to cough. But at the more this time of the year, like near the end, I decided to do week ahead instead, and I was using a lot of this deck. This deck is so good. It's minimalist. It's kind of pippish, and you know me, I talk about how I don't really like pippish decks, but I love this one because for me, it's about the movement. A movement of a pip. If it doesn't have movement like this, then I don't really know what it's supposed to be about. But I can get the conflict happening in this one, right? So I love this deck. It's so good. I don't know why I really love this 4. But I really love this 4 of Wands. My only thing I don't like, I can show you right now. The only thing I don't like about this deck is, as you can see, it's the court cards, particularly the queens and the kings of this deck all suffer kind of from same face, as you can see. There's very little differences. You can just tell that she only changed like the nose The head shape's pretty much still the same. Maybe the hair, but it's like pretty much the same, same queen. So that's the only thing that bothers me about this deck. This card I got a lot this year, let me tell you. Oh my god. And this one even. So, this deck was a standout for me, and I do recommend it if you kind of like this cute, creepy style. And in that vein, the mini Divi goes the same way. Goes the same way. Same art style. But this deck in particular is based on, it's an oracle based around ghosts. And this one, before she expanded to other ones, I only had this one. And there's something about the way she wrote the messages for this deck that really resonated with me. I don't like oracles that are very preachy, to be honest. I don't. That's why I don't actually have a lot of oracles, and especially not ones that have like big messages like this a lot. But this deck is an exception, because like even this one, right? Maybe where you're at doesn't serve you anymore, move along. Like, I don't know. It's just the way they were written that hit the right note for me. See, this card too, I've gotten this one actually. Many greats live in the past, but it's not where you belong. Like, I don't know. This was the standout for me. It did so much work. And so much so, actually, by the way, I'm actually in the process of writing a guidebook for this deck, because it doesn't originally come with a guidebook. So it's just like a quick little thing for me. But yeah, I'm in the process of doing a guidebook for the mini Divi. Not the mini Divi, sorry. The teeny tiny tarot in particular. I'm doing my own personal guidebook to go with it, because it didn't come with one. But anyways, next up is... Yes, wait, did I get this one first? I don't know if I got this one first, but I'll do this one. Edmund Duloc. My goodness, I've been talking about this deck a lot recently, and I think for good reason, because this deck is amazing. Like, look at these backs. I'm sorry, what? These backs are some of my favorite that I have, I will say, of any of my decks. What can I say? This deck is stunning. There's a lot of people in tarot right now who are also talking about it. So if you were considering getting this deck, ooh, I have a reversal. I would recommend it. The art is stunning, based on Edmund Duloc's artwork. Beautiful. It's storybook-like, as others have said. It's just fantastic. Each card just tells such a great story, tied with the meaning of what the cards originally mean for me. And I don't know, I can't get enough of it. So for me, this has been truly a standout. Like, look at you can barely see her, but look at, that's like so good. I'm sorry. Just so much detail. So good. This one is a standout for sure. And now, after Edmund Duloc, I'm going to actually put this away. Nope, never mind. You're going to see me struggle. I'm going to move it away. Oh, that's something. My bad. Okay, next one. This will be literally no surprise to anyone, because I literally just did a giveaway for my second copy of this deck. Coastal Curiosities, another Oracle deck that just did the most this year. My goodness. As soon as I got this, so I only got this in, oh shit, when was that? I feel like it's more recently, but this is a standout for the year because, okay, first off, these are the beautiful backs. It's a linen style deck. See, I don't riffle shuffle, so that's the most you're going to get out of me. But it does great for that. Like, if you are a riffle shuffler on bridge, this is a deck for you. But anyways, something about this Oracle is just beautiful. And my style, my aesthetic, it feels very close to me too, because the creator, Lennox Reese, great creator, by the way, very nice, lives in Oregon somewhere. So a lot of these cards and the animals and the flora and fauna featured are very familiar to me living in Pacific Northwest, California-ish area. So just hit all the right notes and just had the right keywords for me. That this deck, I don't know. I don't think I'll ever get over this. I cannot wait, by the way, until her tarot comes out, because I know she's planning one. And I'm obsessed. I'm in love. I will always just cherish this now. But this was such a standout for this year that it had to be mentioned that this was one of my standouts. And the guidebook, so for those of you who had the first edition of this deck, apparently the guidebook wasn't so great, maybe, I don't know, because she expanded and has basically a lot, and it's full color, so it's beautiful. And yeah, this is a great read too, by the way. So really like that. Really love this deck. And yeah, if you're thinking of purchasing it, please do. It's beautiful. And that is the Coastal Curiosities. And the last two I'm going to show are a pair together. In a tin, my fave. The Prismavision Tarot and the Cosmovisions Oracle. Technically, I got this one a little later. Maybe it shouldn't be in here because I've only worked with this deck a little bit. Maybe I will shove this to the side. Nah, I'll keep it. Okay. Sorry. A lot of indecision from me today. This is the little Prismavision in the tin. I'm not going to wax too many poetics about this deck yet, because I feel like, should I mention that? I might do it. I need to look up if this tag exists, but I might do a tag, and this deck might be featured in that tag, like my own, like, hashtag thing. But anyways, I love the Prismavisions, and when I found out that this deck was coming out in a mini, I literally like gasped and was like, yes, this is finally my time. I was a little wary about getting the full size just because, I don't know. Again, I have issues with like decks that are really big because I have really small hands. So this deck though is the perfect size for me. It has just the best, like, look at that detail of her. Oh my goodness, like the best everything. This deck is so beautiful and so many good things. Like, look at this Seven of Swords. I'm like, oh my goodness. I love it. And this Judgment is everything. That is so cool. So yeah, I love this deck. And oh, I got this card actually with this deck as a daily draw a little bit ago. I also had a couple impactful readings with this deck. And this deck, because it's in a tin, not only actually did I take this deck to Canada with me, but I also took it on a mini vacay I had also. So this deck did so much, and it has to be a standout because I actually, purchased it this year. And in that vein, let's talk about Cosmovision. Also came out in a small little tin. I haven't worked with this deck a lot. But, ooh, I don't know if the camera will... Oh, you can't see it in this bad lighting. I know, I'm filming at night too. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, maybe you can see it a little... Ooh, see? You can see it a tiny bit. This has, like, black holographic edges or kind of greenish. It's hard to tell. These are the backs, similar to Prismavision. This deck is really beautiful too, though. Like, look at this art. It's just stunning. I haven't worked with this a lot, but it's a standout for me because I did actually do one reading recently with this deck about what it's really supposed to sink your teeth into, which is past life readings. Did a really powerful one, and I need to actually journal more of that recently. And it follows very closely to like a tarot style system despite being an oracle. And it's just stunning. I don't know. Like, if you have Prismavision, you should be having this one too. because it's really, really good. Like, look at that. So good. So good. And yeah, this stands out to me. Like, it and the Prismavision just did so much. I mean, there's some couple decks I could put as honorable mentions that I'm just really excited about now that I have them this year. Like, I could talk a little bit about Nicoletta Ciccoli Mini. I could say, oh, I really love the Dream Visions, right? That our vision that I recently got. I could talk about a new deck I'm not going to show yet, but I'm doing a flip through video of soon so you can see. I could talk about those, but I recently got them, you know, so they're not the standouts of this year. These are. And it's not the biggest, like maybe other people have like a lot of standouts this year. I don't know. But those are mine. And even though it was short, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, I kind of try to keep my video... Oof, sorry. My card's slipping and sliding. I try to keep my videos kind of short because my phone also freaks out every time I try to upload videos that are too long. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. And I will see you again next time. But thank you also, Peekaboo Rose, for doing this. It is just a nice time to reflect on the decks that have really brought us through this year. So thank you, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will see you again next time. Bye!